We're on another episode of Pink Confinement, and today we in Miami with Shozanio. Shozanio, what's going on?
Nothing much, nothing much. Thank you for having me on your show. I'm so happy that you came. I can't believe you came all the way to Miami, but hey, welcome to Miami. Welcome.
Thank you. All right, Shozanio, so for the people that's watching, can you introduce yourself and get a little background about how you grew up?
Well, of course, my name is Shozanio. Everybody calls me Zoe. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, so I grew up on Wiley and Moreland Avenue in Atlanta, the ATL.
Okay.
Atlanta.
What zone is that?
Yes, that is Fulton County.
Okay.
County. Yes, so I grew up on Wiley Street, like we stayed there like 20 years.
Okay.
In the same house. But just to go back and tell you a little bit about myself, I was molested from the ages of 3 years old till I was 15. Basically beat every day by my stepfather and my mom. And I really had to take care of my sister and brother. Okay. So my life really started off with trauma. Mm-hmm. It started off with me always wanting to be loved and cared about. Mm-hmm. It started off, it started off rough. Okay. You know, because from the beginning, nobody wants to be molested. Yeah, nobody. Of course. And I didn't learn till I was older that, okay, this was wrong. Mm-hmm. It was a point in my life where I knew when I was going to be molested, and I would just go in the room, take my clothes off, and just lay down and wait for him to come. Okay. And when I say it like that is, I can just give you an example. One day my mom and my stepfather decided they wanted to go out on the town. Of course, it was drugs involved. There was alcohol in the house, so I grew up in a drug and alcoholic environment. Okay. So they went out. I don't know what happened. I had to take care of my sister and my brother. One was small, one was in diapers, and it was, wow, just thinking about it. Anyway, I seen the car pull up. When the car pulled up, I saw there was only my stepfather in the car. I didn't know what my mom was. Okay. So I just went and went to my room because my sister and brother had a room. And I had a room by myself, which is odd in anyone's household.
That's what I was going to say, yeah. Right. Usually in the black community, when you're growing up like that, all the kids be in one room and have bunk beds and stuff like that.
Right. Okay. But I had my own room. Okay. So I'll go in, I got undressed, and I just laid down.
So you were conditioned like that because you already know. So did your mom know that he was doing this to you?
Yes. And the reason why I tell people she knew is I remember one day you could see the shadow under the door because if the light off in the room, the light on in the hallway, you can actually see the foot of people walking back and forth. And I remember one day when I was getting molested, she actually opened the door.
And she didn't do nothing?
No.
You're not the first female that I interviewed, and I just don't understand why these women letting these dudes do they to their kids. Cause at the end of the day, you're still their children. You know what I'm saying? If I can make a law, when they catch these dudes, I want the women to go with them. And I want them to do 10 to the door. Well, they're going to be like, well, Miranda, they need counseling. Get counseling in prison. Get 10 years free. Years of counseling.
Right.
Me personally, I don't respect that at all because dealing with that type of trauma, that could fester to something else and lead that individual down certain roads that they probably went through, you know what I'm saying, if that didn't happen to them.
Right. And that's true. Once I decided to change my life and I wanted to figure out what kept making me go out and do drugs and drink, I got some counseling, and through that counseling, I started to understand, my counselor made me understand the mind frame of my mother. And today I can tell you, I love my mother. I love her. She really had me to realize that my mom was going through the same thing I was.
Tomorrow, when she was younger?
Not when she was younger, living in that household. He was doing the same thing he was doing to me, to her. He was beating her. I remember he actually threw her through a glass table like this. He threw her out a 2-story window. And so my counselor, once we did some sessions, she made me realize that there was nothing my mom could do, because if she did, he would have killed her. Maybe in a lot of different scenarios, he would have killed her.
Okay.
Or killed me. Or killed all of us. Or, you know, something would have happened. You know? Because I remember when she tried to leave. And he stopped the car, jumped in front of the car, and beat her up in the rain. Okay. And snatched us all out the car.
Okay.
So she was getting treated the same way I was.
Okay.
And she would rather go through that torment of seeing me abused and to be there for me and love me the best way she can than to try to leave again and get beat up as she did. She ended up in the hospital or end up dead, and I'm still stuck in that situation with him.
So you don't have no resentment towards your mother?
No.
Before the counseling, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I didn't show it when I was around her, but in the back of my mind, I was thinking, like, why?
Yeah.
Why me? You know, and I tell people, like, for a long time, I was mad at God. I was, excuse my language, pissed off with God.
Yes.
Because I was like that little girl on Forrest Gump when she ran into the cornfield and asked God to make her a bird so she could fly away from her situation. When I see Forrest Gump and I see that part, I can relate. Because I want to be somebody, I want to be that bird so I could fly away.
Yeah,
and I
of course.
couldn't understand why God would even allow a child to be in that situation.
So, yes, of course.
And I was mad at him for a long time until I got that counseling.
Okay.
I was hoping I start crying. My lashes might come off.
No, you good, you good. 'Cause, like, it might be somebody that's watching this going through the same thing. So I appreciate you for coming on here and letting people know, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is real life. This is what's going on. And, you know, it might be somebody out there that don't got that voice, but they watch your story and be like, well, you know what? She been through the same thing. She made it. So I know that I can make it through it too and give them strength.
Right. And that's just like a little bit a part of my life. You know, when I grew up, as I got older, I remember one day my mom, she had called me all kind of names right before school. And so I ran upstairs. I was the type, I didn't have to go to school if I didn't want to.
Okay.
And basically, as long as I let him touch me, I could basically do what I want to.
Okay.
You know? And I remember when I was 15, she called me all kind of, oh, you ain't this, you ain't that, you ain't gonna have my day, you gonna be just like me, da-da-da. And I went upstairs, and here he comes. And he was like, he was finna touch me, like molest me again. I told him, don't touch me.
Yeah.
And he started, and I said, don't touch me. And he came, and then I started a fight.
Yeah.
He was fighting. Well, he realized after that, I beat him up, and I realized my strength, and the things that I had inside of me, even though I think I was fighting out of anger about what my mom said and whatever else was going on
built up
at that time. And I ended up fighting him, beat him up, but that same day he left my mom. But of course, it was my fault that he left. But to me, it was the best thing.
Yeah.
But no matter what she said, I was so used to being told I never amount to nothing. I'm going to be just like, you're going to be just like me. You're going to be this, you're going to be that. You know, just accept your fate, things like that. I was used to that. But going on up, it was like I joined a gang.
Okay. What gang did you join?
Gangster Disciple Folks.
Okay. Growth and development.
I was a GD, so I got into a gang. It was crazy because the way that I got into the game, people was like, no way, you did.
Did you fight? Did you fight?
Yes.
Okay, now, cause I'm finna say, hold on.
I didn't go through that laying down.
Okay, cause I'm finna say now.
When they told me that, I said, no.
Yeah.
You guys are sick.
Yes.
Y'all gonna put me in like when y'all do one of these boys.
Boys,
they
yes.
Looking at me like, what?
Yeah. Okay.
And so I got beat in.
Okay, I respect it. For sure.
And everybody else did too.
Yes.
Doing it. So I rose up the ladders real quick. Real quick. And so not only did I have that molestation and that beating part, I added more trauma by joining a gang.
Okay.
With the robbing and the shooting people, and people's like, why you say that now? It's because, for one, I didn't kill anybody.
Yeah.
You know, but it was just the trauma of putting myself through that.
Okay.
The fighting, the staying here and staying there, and people was like, would ask me, well, why did you join a gang? Because they became my family. People don't really understand. A gang, we look out for each other, we feed each other, we house each other, we love each other.
Okay.
You know, so it ain't just what you can do for me, what I can do for you. You know, we looked out for each other. We protected one another, and that was something that I never had in my household.
Yes.
So when I found it, I fell in love.
With it. Okay.
And I stayed in the gang for a very long time until I got pregnant with my first son.
Okay.
And when I got pregnant, and people don't understand this, it's like, oh, you can't get out of the gang. But when I got pregnant, they told me, well, you're a mother now. Okay. So they stopped me from running around with them in the streets. They bought my baby everything. He had rings on all his fingers. Okay, then. A little necklace that said GD.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, so they sound like they really, really was, you know what I'm saying, family oriented and looking out for you.
Right.
Okay.
So they got me a place to stay.
For real?
Yeah.
Okay, I respect it all the way.
Yeah, they got me a place to stay. I got a job, and I became a mother. And then next thing you know, they kind of like, the gang kind of like fell off. Okay. Well, we still kept in contact with some of them, but it's like, it slowly kind of fell off. Okay. And I still talk to some of them today, but that's just another part of my life.
Yeah, of course.
So with that, I grew up and I was in a gang. Some kind of way along the line, I don't even know when it started, but I started doing crack cocaine. Okay. I remember like selling. I used to just sell it every now and then because my baby father, he did it. So when he wasn't around and I needed diapers or extra milk or things like that, I would sell drugs. Okay. You know, just enough money because everybody knew my children's father and that what he done. Yeah. So, and they knew if I was out there, then it's because the children need something. But I remember this one particular day, I done sold the little bags that I had, and then I had this one little sack that I couldn't get rid of. Okay. I tried to give it away. Nobody would take it. So I don't know why I got this little crazy idea up in my head. I'm gonna try this to figure out why everybody spend their money on it. Yeah. And so the people that normally walk up and down, you know, you've been standing in the neighborhood so long, you know who's using it and who not. Yeah, of course. And I would ask them, let me see your thing that you smoked this on. Yeah. I didn't even know the name of it. And they would look at me and laugh. Girl, you crazy, you crazy. Yeah. You just joking, you know. And here comes my mother's brother. And I was like, Uncle. I'm not going to say his name. Yeah. Uncle, because I want, in case somebody in my family, I want them to say. Yeah. I was like, Uncle, let me see your thing you used to smoke this with. He said, okay. Now, all these strangers laughing, that's not in my family, you know. When some of my mother's brother showed me how to use, I call it the apparatus now. Okay. How to use the apparatus, how to do the lighter, how to do everything. Okay. And that first hit, I was just off to the races. For real? Right. I took my kids to my mom's house. I never went back to get her, even though she stayed around the corner from me. Yeah. I would rather sleep in the abandoned car next to the dope house than to go home. I prostituted myself. Again, I've been raped, slapped, hit, punched. Walking the streets 24 hours sometimes till my body gave out. I wake up on somebody's front porch. Or one time I woke up on this abandoned house front porch. I used to always sit there. I woke up right there. I remember going to the bootlegger and waking up on the bootlegger's porch where her husband came out, picked me up, and laid me on the couch on their front porch and covered me up because they knew me ever since I was little. Yeah. But that was a life for me. I was running, just 24 hours running. I got so small that a size 000
Damn.
was too big.
Damn. Oh, yeah.
I could hide behind a telephone pole and you wouldn't even know I was there.
Damn.
So, you know, I went to my mom's house to use the restroom and to clean myself up.
Yeah.
Because I got tired of smelling myself.
Yeah.
And when I say smell myself, I mean I was bad because I'm not going to say never, but I always went to take a bath. But it was only until I got to a point of so much stench that people was like, okay, girl, you need to go do something.
Yeah.
I didn't care anymore.
Okay.
But this one particular day I went to my mom's house, I used to always avoid the mirror when I take a shower. I never would look at the mirror. And this particular day, the mirror caught me. And I had seen me.
Yeah.
And I just stood there. I think it could have been 5 minutes or maybe it could have been more, but I broke down crying. And I went out and told my mom and my new stepfather, not the one that molested me.
Yeah.
It's another gentleman came in. His name was John Brooks Broford Bryan.
Okay.
We called him BB.
Okay, BB.
He came in and he treated everybody equal. He sure me, my sister, and my brother love. We ate every day. So when he came in, then we were able to realize what love was. So
okay.
We would. I'm gonna say we. I'm gonna say I because I don't think they were ever touched by their father. But he showed me love. I'm gonna keep it on me. He showed me love, and anyway, he started throwing stuff in the suitcase. You know, he had a suitcase. He started throwing some of my stuff in the suitcase.
Yeah.
And he shut the suitcase and he said, "Come on." And I was like, "Oh, Lord, he don't want to help me. He putting me out. He throwing my clothes out."
Yeah.
You know, now it's the blame game. But what he did was he put me in the car and took me to this ministry.
Oh, okay.
So the ministry is called Set Free Ministries in Gainesville, Georgia. And when I got there, I used to always wonder why we had so much bread in the house. Because we didn't need this much bread. I'm like, Mama, why you got so much bread? When I used to go to take a shower and stuff. And my dad used to get that bread from the church because he used to always go to the church to pray for me.
Okay.
And talk to the pastor about me going to their ministry.
Okay.
But come to find out, the pastor told him that don't make her.
Yeah.
When she's ready,
yeah.
You're going to know. You just keep coming to this church and you just keep praying with me and let God work.
Yes.
And that particular day, I looked in the mirror and started crying and told him that, and he was just moving so fast and kind of realized he was moving really fast because he didn't want me to change my mind.
Yeah, of course.
So I went to this ministry and I stayed in the ministry for 8 years.
Oh, okay.
I ran two women houses. I was the overseer of the house. After a while, I did a lot of praise and worship, a lot of Bible studies, a lot of everything. And I was I didn't really know anything about God or the Bible. And when I read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, by the time I read Matthew, Mark, by the time I got to Luke, I was crying when I first got there. And the lady, her name, Miss Betty, I remember Miss Betty to this day. Miss Betty said, "What you crying for?" I said, "They just keep killing them over and over."
Yeah.
So, and then she said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Jesus," because they killed him in Matthew, they killed him in Mark. And then she explained to me, so I had to get the basics of the Bible.
Okay.
So when I started off to tell you that I was mad at God, I really was. And even though I was doing that ministry, I stayed in 8 years, I still didn't make my peace. Because the pastor of the church, he called me in one day and he was like, told me stop pretending. And I was like, I didn't understand what he meant by pretending. Because to me, I didn't feel like as though I was pretending.
Yeah.
I actually loved the word and things like that. And he said, "Girl, you so mad at God right now. You and God need to be on it. There's an island and have it out.
Yeah.
You know, you need to be by yourself with God." But I didn't ever understand that. And until I started getting counseling.
Okay.
And then I was able to understand that I actually hated God.
Okay.
Right.
Deep. So what sent you to prison?
I will tell you what sent me to prison. I was in a 14-year domestic violent marriage, right? So within these 14 years, I lost my kids. He would call the police, tell them I left the kids in the house. or all of this.
Wait, hold on. So he will beat on you, I'm assuming, and he gonna call the police talking about you left the kids in the house.
Have me Baker acted.
How that work?
He would beat me and rape me. So this for one day he was like, okay, after he did his love, after he beat me, raped me, beat me, he told me, I'm gonna call the police. I'm gonna tell them that you stayed out all night long. And when you came back looking like this.
Oh, wow.
And if you say anything, before the police can even get to you, I'm gonna snap your neck. So when we called the police, this particular day, they sent Andy Griffith. A little old
Andy!
Man, about the size of Andy Griffith. Little old thing. And when he was standing next to me, he had his hand on my neck.
Oh, wow.
I was very scared of this my ex-husband. You know, it didn't seem like it, but I really was. I was scared of him. And I remember the first time I went to prison was the lady next door across the hall from us was saying how he raped her and this and that. And
oh, wow.
Right. And I'm real keen about, you don't say what you're going to do to people that I love.
Yeah.
That's crazy. People are like, well, how you love somebody that beat on you?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to ask.
To this day, I can't answer that question. I guess, and the way my counselor put it is, I grew up in that type of environment, so I thought it was normal.
Okay.
I thought it was okay.
But did you believe the neighbor when she said it? Deep down, even though you didn't? Why you didn't believe her?
No. Because she was the type that always would like to flirt with him.
Okay.
The way the clothes that she wore and things like that. See, I already knew that I wasn't the apple of his eye.
Okay.
Because and he brought drugs back into the marriage.
Okay.
So after being clean for 8 years, I ended up doing drugs again with him. And what sent me to prison was that he decided that he wanted to entertain a couple of his friends. And
are they males or females?
Males.
Okay.
And during that entertainment, I was the entertainment. And that particular day, when I was the entertainment, he choked me out with towels and beat me and did whatever that he decided that he wanted to do. And in that time frame, I got to a point where I was just like, oh, shit. Something snapped. Something really snapped. And I told him, I was like, pull this car over. Pull this car over before I kill the both of us. And I don't know, some kind of way he pulled the car over, so I ended up fighting him. I fought two of the guys.
His friends?
And as I finished from fighting them, I went and sat and waited on the police to come. But then I realized, Shozanio, you waiting on the police to come, and I started to run.
Yeah.
But they caught me. And that's why I went to prison. I went to prison for 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon with no intent to kill.
Wait, hold on. So, this is just crazy. Like, these dudes, they see what's happening, and your husband know what's happening, and they really want to send your ass to prison.
Yeah, and the reason why I tell women that go through these trauma issues or that's been in a domestic violence situation, I tell them you got to report it.
Yeah.
Because nothing reported for me.
Okay, so nothing. You never reported nothing.
No, even when he Baker acted me, I never told the people, okay, I've been beat. I just went along with the Baker act because one, I wasn't in the house with him, so it gave me a time to try to figure out something.
Okay.
But no matter if I went to a domestic violence shelter, some kind of way he found out what domestic violence shelter I went to.
Did you contact him while he was there?
No.
Okay.
Just like I left one day with the kids and I went to a hotel, some kind of way he found out what hotel I was in. It's like everywhere I went, he would find out where I was at. And he would tell me, no matter where you go in this world, I'm going to find you. And it was different events for me leaving and him finding me, I would believe that.
I wondered if he had a tracker on you or something.
I don't know, but probably the cell phones, because now that I've learned more about cell phones, I see that it can be tracked
easily. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right, so he always had my phone on the same line as his. I never had like my own line.
Okay.
But to go back to it.
So you went for the aggravated side for
Right. So that's why I tell women that's in a domestic violence to report.
Okay.
Because there was nothing on record at the hospital. There was nothing on record from police.
Mm-hmm.
There was no neighbors or anything that could testify to it, and my family didn't know about it.
Okay.
And so it made me seem like the aggressor.
Okay.
It made me seem like the aggressor, and since it made me seem like the aggressor, and they was actually hurt bad, I ended up going to prison. I actually was supposed to get 20 years. Mm-hmm. You have to report. They have to report, because what if they get killed?
Yes.
Nobody would know why.
Mm-hmm.
What if they go to prison like I did?
Mm-hmm.
And if they report, then they can avoid that prison sentence.
So how much time did you do?
Altogether, I did 7 years. And the reason why I say altogether is I did 2 years. I got out, went back to my ex-husband. Same scenario, same situation. But I went back to prison 5 months later. So it was like I was never out to me.
Yeah. So, but why did you go back to him after you did the 2 years?
Didn't know any better. He was sending me letters, and when I was in there, how much he loved me and how much he cared for me. And then he had sent me pictures of a beautiful apartment, and he had lobster, but this lobster was bigger than his hand. You know, he was, what all abusers do, tell you that they've changed, and they have this for you, and then they have that for you. And
was he putting money on your books and stuff?
At that time, he was putting money on the books when he could,
you
know. And I was like, okay. I'm gonna have it nice when I get out. I ain't gonna hit you no more. Of course, every person with domestic violence know. Now that I know, this is what they say.
Yeah.
To draw you back in. So when I did get out, he came to pick me up on his new motorcycle.
Okay.
From the Greyhound station, and now I'm riding on his motorcycle, and the way he treated me, like then I felt like a little princess. But then when we got to his house, he was losing the apartment. It was only one sectional in there. Everything else was gone. All the pictures and everything that he showed was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, the nice bedroom suit he had in there was now a broke down wooden bedroom suit. And then he told me after you have sex with your better half when you get out because you've been gone so long, that he had to move in the next 24 hours.
What?
And I was like, well, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
He was going to stay with his girlfriend.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, okay. So I ended up at I can't even remember. I want to forget her. I can't even remember the name of the place. But I ended up at another ministry that was just, only thing they was into is money.
Okay.
You know, do what I say, do how I say it.
Yeah. And
they was just into the money, so I don't even remember the place that I went, but I ended up there. And yeah. Then I ended up he moved to Clearwater, so I followed him to Clearwater. And that's when I went to prison, when I was in Clearwater.
Okay, so why you went to prison that time?
That's the time I went to prison for 2 counts of aggravated assault with
a
weapon.
And then after you got out, you said 5 months later you went back. Why you went 5 months later after you had got out?
Okay, so let me go back and explain. The first time I went to prison, I went for a burglary while occupied dwelling. I forgot, I didn't finish that story. The neighbor who was saying that he raped her.
Yeah.
I fought her.
Okay.
And we was thinking that everything was squashed. Months don't pass by. We shared a patio. Months don't went by, and I was like, had the patio door open. And I said, okay, I'm going to fix him a nice dinner. So I leave to go to Winn-Dixie, forgetting that I left the patio door open.
Yeah.
What they did was they brought a computer, a laptop, and put it in my little girl's room. I came back from the store with my bags. A knock came on the door. It was a police officer.
Oh, wow.
I learned later, while I was going back and forth to court, that her boyfriend's brother was a Pinellas County cop.
Oh, wow.
So he was the one knocked on the door. And he said, your neighbors called us and said they seen you coming in their house and take something. And I was like, sir, I just came back from the grocery store. Here are my bags. Here's my receipt.
Yeah.
I wasn't here to take anything from them. And he was like, well, you know, just to ease their minds, can I come in and check?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I've
dirty.
never been in no trouble before. Yeah. So I was like, sure, come on in.
Yeah.
Not realizing until I was in there that he passed the kitchen. He passed the bathroom.
He went straight to.
He went straight to my daughter's room. He passed our room and
went
straight to our daughter's room, got on his knee, and pulled the laptop from up under the bed.
Oh, dirty.
He didn't go in the kitchen, look in the cabinets. He didn't go in the bathroom. He didn't go in our room. He didn't go into the master bathroom.
Yeah.
He went straight to it. He didn't open no drawers, pull out no clothes. He just went straight, bent down, and pulled it out. And I was like, wait. I didn't put that there.
Yeah.
But because I didn't know the
law, yes,
that he had to have a search warrant.
Yes.
And he came in and found it in there. They even took fingerprints. You know, I was like, if you take fingerprint, my fingerprints are not going to be on there. So they called a fingerprint person.
Yeah.
And then whatever the police was at her house, they came through my slide door. I said, see, that's how they got in. That's how they got in.
Yeah.
The slide door. I never touched the slide door because I just had walked in the house with my bag.
Yes.
But I went to prison for 2 years for that.
Oh, wow.
Then I got out and went back to him. Got into that situation with him. 5 months later, I was back in prison.
Oh, wow.
For a second time.
Okay.
And that's when I spent that 7 years.
Yeah.
You know, for the aggravated assault with deadly weapon with no intent to kill.
Okay. So, for the females that's watching, that's probably going through the same thing and stuff like that, like, what advice, what message would you give them? Because I'm curious to why you gave this abuser 14 years of your life.
I guess I would tell them is if you're in an abusive situation, leave. Get out of there. Don't listen to how that I love you or I care about you, because that's their way of keeping control of you.
But what if she be like, well, I've been knowing him since the 6th grade. I love him. What do you say to a female like that? Because, you know, females be like, well, the history. You know what I'm saying? So what do you have to say a female? She tell you that?
Girl, I'm still going to tell you, get out of there for the simple reason you can be knowing him for the 6th grade. You already know what type of person he is. But somewhere along the line, he has what they tell us, brainwashed us. He has brainwashed you in some way where since you've been knowing him since you was in the 6th grade, he's been conditioning you to think of him in some type of way. Okay. So if you've been knowing him since you was in the 6th grade, think back. What happened to you in the 6th grade? Did he pull up your skirt in front of his friends? You know, as you got older, did he talk to other females in your face, or did he come back and say, bring you flowers and be like, oh, I love you, it's okay? Did he hit you at an early age? And was like, oh, I was just playing. Yeah. You know? Or did he shake you and tell you, oh, I'm only doing this because I love you and I want you to understand. I want you to understand. No. For a long time, men brainwash us. From the time they started, abusers. Okay. From the first time that they meet you, they do certain things, they say certain things. And if you want to know if you're in a beginning of an abusive relationship, if he call you, where you been? Where you at? Okay. You know? Why you ain't call me and tell me you was going here? Why you ain't tell me? Don't wear that. Okay. You know, you don't look right in that. Okay. Don't wear that. Don't put on no makeup. Put on makeup. Okay. If they starting to tell you what to do and how to do it, sooner or later he's going to hit you. Okay. So what about, I know I had to talk to some female and they be like, sometimes they do be like, well, I'm going to kill myself. So what do you say to a female? Be like, he be saying he going to kill himself if I leave him. You know what? That happened to me. That really happened to me. I left my children's father. Okay. You know, we were childhood sweethearts. Okay, I got 4 kids, by the way. So I left my oldest son and my middle baby girl, my 21-year-old. I left their father. And when I did, somebody called and say, Wayne just stabbed himself with a piece of glass behind the store where he had them. And I was like, what? And I went down there and I was like, but what are you doing? I'm going to kill myself. If I can't have you, nobody can have you. Yeah. And I might as well just off myself. So I had that happen. Okay. But we didn't get back together.
Okay.
Even though I was younger then, it was like I just had, I don't know, it seemed like younger, I didn't have all that. I'm gonna hit you, I want all that. It just, for some reason, when I got older, in my 20s, late 20s, I got into that phase of, I guess because I was doing drugs by then.
Okay.
I stopped caring.
Yes.
But it was just the brainwashing thing, I believe. I don't know exactly how it goes and how it happens. I know it starts with them controlling your phone.
Yeah.
Who you calling, how you calling, and what you calling them for, where you going, when you gonna come back. Then it starts off, call me before you leave, call me when you get there. Then it goes from you wearing that, don't wear that, wear it is, you know. It builds up to the hitting.
Okay.
And I don't know, some people just start off with the hitting.
Okay.
Right.
So, do you think like abuser, will he change? Like, okay, for instance, like, say like me and you talking, I done beat you or whatever, stuff like that, then I be like, well, I'ma change. But I also know deep down inside, like, it's certain shit I could do and say to you to make you take me back. So why would I guess change for you when I know it's certain stuff I could do to get you back?
Right, a leopard don't change his spots.
Okay.
A leopard don't change his spots. It goes back, you have to remember how many times has that person told you, I'm gonna change before. I'm gonna change, I'm gonna change, I won't hit you no more, I'm gonna change. Oh my God, I'm gonna go get some counseling. Just bear with me. I love you. They're not gonna change.
Okay.
And to this day, every time I see him well, like on Facebook or Instagram, and he got these women, I just shake my head because I can say, y'all sitting up here smiling now.
Yeah.
It's going to be crying later.
Later, yes.
Yeah, yes. And then there's one lady, he had me so brainwashed that he was living with a lady, but he was still controlling. He had her get me an apartment.
What?
Yeah. So I'm staying here. He got keys to it. He can come and go. That's when I told you that time that he raped me and beat me was in my apartment.
Okay.
That he had keys to. Anyway, I remember she used to treat me so bad. So bad. Like, oh, look at you. You da. And I told her one day, I say, and you think you got it good because you got him?
Exactly.
I said, you can have him.
Please take him off my hand.
Because when you start going through what I'm going through, then you're going to be all right. She buying him this, letting him drive a car. She dressed him like he pimped Daddy Cujo, you know?
Yeah.
And I told her, I was just shaking my head. And I just feel sorry today because he did her the same way. And he probably going to do the next woman he's with the same way.
Yes.
His next woman, and then he use them until he dry them out. And when they can't buy him or get him where they want to take him on these trips he wants to go on, he leaves them. But he beats people to get what he wants.
Okay. So, I guess, like, for the people that's watching, especially females, like, what would you tell them, like, if they married, you know, it's supposed to be a commitment, but there are husbands that is raping their wife. What would you tell them, like, for, like, that? Like, they're just crazy.
There's really nothing you can tell them. It's a decision that they have to make on their own.
Okay.
Because you can talk till your face turn blue, but until they come to that realization that what they're going through is not normal. What they're going through is they deserve better. Until they realize it themselves, it's not gonna work. So you can tell them anything. Like for me, I tell people prison wasn't a punishment for me. It actually saved my life.
Okay.
That last 5 years, because it put a gap between me and him. He ended up moving on, going on to the next person, forgetting about me. It put a gap between me and the drugs. It put a gap between me and the alcohol. And it gave me that, when I walked into prison, as soon as I walked in, I turned around and looked at the doors I walked into. I looked at those doors and said, I'm not going to be the same. I'm not going to leave here the same way I walked in.
Yes.
And I started implementing change then.
Okay.
I started doing all their betterment courses. I did NA in there. Got my GED. I did a PC support course. I did a culinary arts. Anything. Anything. I never got any CCs. I never got any DRs. Okay. I never got in any trouble. You know, people say, "Oh, you was a model prisoner." It wasn't that I was a model prisoner. It was that I had made my mind up that I wanted better for myself.
Yes.
And so, in order for me to get better, I had to do something different than what I was normally would do. So,
okay.
Right.
Okay.
So you can tell people anything. You can tell them. You can talk to them until your face turns blue and you pass out. You'll pass out first before they will.
Yeah, of course.
It has to be something that they figure out up here.
So I know that like people really don't know the reason why, but why do these women like hold on to these men? Why?
Because they don't think they can get anything better. I didn't think I could get anything better. I really didn't. I was like, you know, the world made me, the world deal with me. I was thinking I was supposed to be like my mom. All the stuff that was ingrained in me as a kid that you start to believe as you get older.
Okay.
That's what I believed. And so I stayed in that situation because I thought I couldn't do any better. I thought that he was my world. Some kind of way he just completely had complete control over Shozanio. Control what I ate, cooked, how I cooked it, you know, those things.
So did it start early in your relationship or did he wait until some time?
It waited, no, this actually started early within the relationship because we wasn't even married a year before he put his hands on me.
Okay.
And this was a particular time we was doing it. He brought the drugs back into, matter of fact, he told me he manipulated me to get high because I had been clean for 8 years. We had, he was in the ministry. We met in the ministry. We was having premarital sex. So this ministry, they actually believe the word. So you're not supposed to have sex until you're married. So they made us get married. Okay. Because I was pregnant. Right. So we didn't. If it wasn't for the ministry, I probably would have never even married a guy.
Okay, I got you.
So they made us get married, and we was doing drugs. And he just walked out the room one day and just, boom, get up. Get up and get my baby. He just kept hitting me. And I was able to get out the house. I got out the house and I ran. But I went back to the house. But it's still, some little girls in the neighborhood was like, don't go back in there, don't go back in there. And so I went to a friend's house. Of course, the friend called him, and he came and got me. He taught that little, you know what they say.
Yeah.
When I got home, he packed his clothes, and he went back to the ministry. But he didn't stay long. He came back. So that's their way of saying that they're going to change. Oh, my God, he on the phone crying to the pastors and crying to everybody. Yeah. He hit me. What he going to do?
Yeah.
You know? And he needs help. He needs to change, but he never did.
Okay. So after all that and after prison and stuff like that, so what's going on with Shozanio today? How is Shozanio doing today, right now? What's going on with you?
Shozanio is the happiest, I'm telling you, the happiest I've ever been in my life.
Okay.
I guess I can start off with, I graduated with my associate's degree from Miami-Dade College.
Congratulations.
And I'm working on another degree. I'm moving forward in my social work. I'm working on becoming a certified recovery residential administrator with the Florida Certification Board.
Okay.
I'm a certified peer recovery specialist.
Okay.
And I have my own nonprofit.
Okay.
It's called Shozanio's Place, Inc. It's a reentry program for women coming out of prison.
Okay.
So, and I tell people, they was like, well, why you started that? It's because my last year, I wrote 23 places that say that they help women when they get out with housing and resources. And out of those 23 places, nobody wrote me back.
Okay.
I was so messed up about where I was going to go that my case manager. She told me about this LEAP program. Mm-hmm. So I got into the LEAP program because there was an entrepreneurship program. And that interested me. Mm-hmm. But during the program, they said that they house women.
Yes.
And they do all this. So I got into the LEAP program. And as I was in the program, they told me that their house was full. They told the class that their house was full, that we all had to find somewhere else to go.
Oh, wow.
And so now I'm like, oh, man. But anyway, by the time it was time for me to leave, a place, they had room. Mm-hmm. And so I went to the LEAP house.
Okay.
But I didn't have all the resources that I needed.
Yes.
You know, like I needed the counseling. I didn't have the counseling. Mm-hmm. We were required to go to Narcotics Anonymous meetings or AA meetings. Mm-hmm. So I did go to the meetings, but I started working.
Okay.
So I worked, and I stopped going to meetings. And then I ended up relapsing. So I was out for like 3 days and 3 nights. And my sister, Tarshay, she was out showing, and the people from the LEAP program were out showing people in Overtown my picture and, mm-hmm. you know, showing them my picture, asking for me. Matter of fact, if you know somebody out there on drugs and you're looking for them, just know they looking at you, because I was looking at Tarshay when she knocked on the door that I was in. I was in this apartment, and then she knocked on the door, and I heard her showing my picture, asking the guy, was I in there?
Yeah.
And I was actually in the house.
Okay.
But, you know, I always ask God to show me somebody that loves me genuinely for me.
Yes, of course.
And then maybe I'll start loving myself. Mm-hmm. And so with Tarshay and these 3 little white ladies out in Overtown showing my picture and talking about putting up billboards. They was going to put a big billboard up in it.
Okay. Shit, they wanted to find you.
Yeah, they was going to put a big billboard up in Overtown saying, have you seen her, call this number?
Yes.
But just knowing, I couldn't get high no more, because just knowing that they were out there and Tarshay was out there.
Yeah, looking for you.
Looking for me. It did something to my spirit. Mm-hmm. And I left, and I went back to the LEAP house.
Okay.
Which I was met with open arms. Tarshay, Malia, you know, Yvette, especially Yvette, Bravo, mm-hmm. and this lady named Star. Mm-hmm. They was like, well, what you gonna do? You know, I couldn't stay in the house because I done got high.
Yeah.
And so they helped me get into Camilla's house.
Okay.
And so when I went to Camilla's house, Tarshay told me to utilize everything that they have in there.
Yes.
So that's when I really dug into the counseling, because I knew it was something that kept continuing to have me. So I did the counseling.
Okay.
Got myself better, started doing the affirmations, went to college. Mm-hmm. Got that degree. I'm working on another degree.
Okay.
I started Shozanio's Place, Inc.
Okay.
I got a 9 to 5 at Transitions, Inc., mm-hmm. where I am a placement specialist. I work with the cadets, the 18 to 24-year-olds with Miami-Dade County.
Okay.
Placing them on jobs. Every day, I'm helping somebody get shelter. Well, my fiancé and I, Michael, I'm getting married.
All right, she getting married. Big up to Michael.
I'm getting married in March to Michael Flannery, and he's an advocate for those that are in need. His phone rings from the time we wake up to the time we go to sleep. Somebody calling for shelter, food, housing, mm-hmm. clothing. We do these things.
Okay.
On a daily basis. These
Congratulations.
we do. And so I've helped for over 60-some people.
Okay.
I believe
big ups.
With just getting shelter. Mm-hmm. Maybe my numbers are upset. Maybe like 20 with counseling and things like that.
Okay.
And so that goes back to Shozanio's Place. Then that's why I founded Shozanio's Place.
Okay.
So I'm getting married. Wow. Oh, and I got this beautiful 2020 Cadillac.
Okay. And it's clean. I seen it. It is clean.
Never thought that I would be as happy as I am now. I used to pray, and I used to ask the question, when was it my time to be happy?
Yes.
Like, truly happy from the inside. girl, it's my turn.
Now, yeah, and you better show out. And you better show out.
My turn. People may think that right now I'm wearing too much hat. They probably say, how she going to school and how she got a 9 to 5 and running a nonprofit. The thing about it is, if you want it to happen, if you want things to do, it's what you tell yourself. If you tell yourself, I can't, you won't. If you tell yourself, I can't, I will, you will. People got to understand that I like to tell people, like, divorce those voices. I have buttons that I had made. It got 2 lips. It got a chain, like, coming out. Anyway, in the middle, it has divorce the voice. So divorce those negative voices in your head that tell you that you ain't gonna never amount to nothing. That you've been in prison, that you're not gonna find a job. That you're gonna always be on crack cocaine, or you're gonna always be an alcoholic. Divorce your mother or your father, your auntie, who always told you you'll never amount to nothing. You're still gonna be the same stupid little black individual that you always been. Or look at you. You know, divorce those voices, because as long as you continue to listen to those voices, the longer you're going to stay stuck. It didn't take me one day to get where I'm at. It took me many prayers, many counseling sessions, many affirmations to tell myself, okay, Shozanio, today you're going to do good. Today this, today that, today you are beautiful, you are kind, you are smart. You know what? When I realized I had a brain and how smart I was, I shocked my damn self. I shocked myself. So once I realized that and I started implementing and believing it within myself, sky's the limit. And I think I can go further than the sky. So I'm going to keep pushing forward. As you should. I'm getting chilled, but you got to divorce those negative voices. Divorce them. Give them a decree. Write it down on paper and say, Mama, I divorce your negativity when it came time. You tell me I ain't gonna never. Write your own decree. Write it, keep it. Just like when people get divorces, they get divorce papers. Write your own divorce paper to those negative thoughts. Whatever you got to do, come out of the negativity and move into the positive. Because your past does not define your future. It sure doesn't. Your past don't define your future. It doesn't. Because if I let my past define my future, I'll be walking around here over town, half naked, a 000, dirty, nappy hair, and got an apparatus stuck in my mouth. And that's not the life I want to live today. And like I say, you look good. I seen the car. You happy. You're doing the damn thing. And like I say, Shozanio Place is for women, individuals seeking counseling, housing, and this is truly coming from the heart. She's not in it for the money. She's doing this because she lived through it, so she understands it. So this is a place of happiness and true love. So Shozanio Place is next up. So please, if you in the area, if you want to talk to her, or you just need help, you know what I'm saying, hit up Shozanio. So what is your social media? Shozanio Place. What is it? Shozanio's Place. Like, if you want to go, I really don't know. I need to learn that. Okay. But anyway, if you want to look me up, it's Shozanio's. I got a website, shozaniosplace.com. My social media is my first name, Shozanio. Horton, you can pick me up there. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. So those are where you can find me. But I need to... You are the first person that ever asked me that. So now I'm always learning. So now I need to learn my social media things, because I'm like, oh God. I'm going to write them down from now on. Okay then. And like I say, Shozanio, thank you for coming on Confinement. And there you go, another episode.